Hey guys, it's Ani. Happy Friday. I am back. I don't know if you noticed last few videos of mine were some oldies but really goodies, real good ones. I got a lot of feedback still that you guys watch them and are getting movement with your specific persons, people, and I'm so happy for you guys. Thank you for all the amazing feedback. I am back. This is a brand new video, and I will be sharing one of my clients' successes that she sent in around the holidays, and a little backstory. So, just because everyone's circumstances are different, but maybe your circumstances sound like hers and it will motivate you, but it doesn't even matter. Even if you feel like your circumstances are better or worse, whatever, you can still get what you want because none of it matters. What's going on in the 3D, none of it matters. It matters what is going on in here. All right. So I will share this, but a little bit of backstory. So we have been working together in our one-on-one sessions. Also, when she could not get a session with me, she was doing my self-concept course, Ani's self-concept course. She was working on that when she couldn't get a session with me. So all of the above has really helped. She was in a relationship, and they went from relationship going kind of south, SP being cold, not really giving her what she wanted, and then they went to no contact. She was working on herself. So for a few months she was in no contact with her SP, and now he is back, better than ever. Better than even when, I believe she mentioned even before when they first met, he's showing up as his best version. She hasn't really experienced this lovey-dovey, beautiful, romantic version of him yet. So how amazing is that? Like, this is why I love what I do. This is why I love working with you guys, and I love um, just hearing this. This is like so fulfilling to me. This is like why I do what I do. And each and every one of you watching this will be a success story. You are a success story. Don't even doubt it for a second. Just like her, when we first started, she was like, one day I want to be your success story, girl. You are. It's happening. It's working. You're getting results. Like, I love you guys so much. And after the success story, even, I will be talking about a lot more things, really just rampaging and motivating you, because I know how it feels. Trust me, I know how it feels to be in a place where you feel like nothing's happening, nothing's working, you're never going to get what you want. Maybe you got to settle, maybe you got to move on, maybe this, maybe that. Trust. All right. So they are back into communication, and I will read the success story right now. All right, you guys. She says, "Hey, Ani, firstly, I wanted to wish you a very happy and Merry Christmas. And secondly, girl, I have some exciting news. SP and I are finally back in contact. I will give you a update. It's currently 1 a.m. on Christmas Day here, and I'm still buzzing off this feeling. I love that feeling. You know that feel, like, I'm sure you guys have experienced this, but it's even more amazing when, like, it's like something you've been working on for a while, like SP or whatever it is, and you're finally writing your success story. Like, it's just the best feeling ever. Sometimes, like, I remember when I was going through that, like, I couldn't even like process, like, how am I gonna like tell my friends about this? Like, I've been manifesting this. I knew one day maybe this day would come, like, you never really know like the exact timing it's going to come, so it always kind of hits you as a shock and a surprise, and you just get so excited. Like, there's always this part of it that always feels like a miracle, even though you know about law of assumption, even though you know about manifesting, even though you know, like, you can think and believe and imagine your way through it, right? Still, we're never like 100.00% sure, right? There's always like this little, will it not, right? And then when it happens, it's like, boom, miraculous feeling, and it's just the best feeling ever. All right, so let's get into it, you guys. So she had some things of hers at his place, and they had, like, she had told, he had told her to, like, to come and pick, you have some things at my place, right? Um, so this is how it continues. Sorry, I lost my spot, you guys. Sorry. All right, she goes, Ani, I was so nervous before I got there. I thought I was going to be sick. I watched your recent video and I kept on my homework as best as I could. Ani, he was even texting me before I got there so many times. He seemed worried that I would drop off things um and not see him or just leave and go home. When I got to his apartment, he saw me on the intercom and waited outside his front door until I came upstairs and he kissed me. Now, I want you guys to know, like, she was so nervous. I remember even in session, like, before before she emailed this, in session, she was even talking about, like, what if he just says, like, oh, you know, what if it gets worse? Like, what if you always feel that way, right? You never really know. Like, is this going to be a good talk? Is it going to be a bad talk? Are they going to say it's like completely over? I never want to see you again, right? But obviously, we're creators, so we got something to do with it, right? But still, it doesn't matter. Like, you get nervous, you get anxious, you get worried. So, um, came upstairs and he kissed me. He was so loving, kind, and caring. The energy had changed. I could feel it. At one point, my family members had called me on FaceTime, and he went into the other room to change into a nice shirt to make a good impression and talked to them for 45 minutes. And this was the icing on the cake, Ani. He was freaking slow dancing with me in his lounge. I ended up staying over, and this morning he again was so nice and loving. Before I left, I said, I love you. And he said, I love you. And he even agreed to call my dad tomorrow to wish him a Merry Christmas. Ani, we haven't stopped texting all day today. Um, I just wanted to say thank you so much, Ani, for quite frankly the best Christmas present ever. I love you, and I'm so grateful for all your help and support, and for just being the best coach. Have a lovely Christmas off. Girl, I love you too. You guys, um, I was kind of pausing in places because there were some things that she wanted left private. That's why I was making sure, like, I don't say it, because your guys' privacy is number one. And I just wanted to respect that. But this is so amazing. So for a few months she was in no contact, and she was even in a place of, I want to manifest seeing him for Christmas, but I don't even know how. Like, I don't even know how that's gonna happen. We don't even talk. And I remember in session when we met and she was telling me all of this in session, um she was like, Ani, the way he was acting, like, I've never seen that romantic version of him ever. I've never seen him, like, like, anticipate so much me, like, coming to his house. Like, he was texting me, he was, like, waiting for me at the doorstep. He wanted to hug me and kiss me, like. And throughout this whole time, like, even working together, like, the way she would explain him, like, his character was kind of reserved, not really like this. So this is what I mean when I say, like, there's different versions of your person. There's billions and trillions of versions. There's infinite number of versions of everyone in your reality, and whichever one you work on, that's what you're going to get pushed out eventually, sooner or later. That's what you're going to get. But what matters is, you guys, how are you keeping yourself in the middle of this, all of this, in the middle of this process, like, from the time you desire to the time you get it? What are you doing in the middle of it? Like, what are you doing while you're trying to keep your cool, while you're trying to keep your thoughts on check, while you're trying to manifest, while you're trying to create the best version. That matters so much. That matters so much. I've heard so many people come to me and tell me, Ani, I've talked to all these coaches from all these different places and stuff, and like I still don't have any movement with my person or this or that. And then when I ask them, like, what have you been up to? Like, what have you been doing? And it's literally like, well, I've just been saying a few affirmations. That's it. Affirmations help 100%. But affirmations, so all techniques, all things that can get you in a place of really changing the thought process dominantly helps. But if there are certain ways you see a person, if there are certain characteristics you keep playing in your head, right? Like let's say my issue always was the bad boy, the player, right? And there's a story with that. A player or a bad boy, the type of person I would always fall for, would not be faithful, right? So here's the problem with that. Like I could affirm all day, every day. And I had in the past when I didn't know really what I was doing, and then there wasn't much information out there. Like I would just affirm all day, every day, oh, this person's mine, this person's mine. I am with this person. We are in a committed relationship. That's all great. But what about all the other meanings you're giving their personality? All the other beliefs that come with thinking of this person as a player? All the other things you think about yourself in relation to the way you created them, right? So like, for example, when I would think of my SP in the past, I would think not loyal, not faithful, because of the way I created that person, and they kept playing it out because law, that is the law. The way you focus on something or someone, the characteristics you attach to them, they will continue to push that out until you change the story of you in relation to them, and until you change the story of them. And self-concept played a big role when I worked on my self-concept, just like how I was teaching her how to do it too. And so many of you that have been taking my self-concept course have been seeing so many results. Not even just taking the course, just watching the videos for free on YouTube have been helping so many of you. I have client successes like that too, that I'll be sharing, that they just watch the videos. But it's a different story when you feel like you got deeper stuff internally that you can't get past, or you want to identify. Then that's why we got coaching. That's why, there's courses. But anyway, it's not just surface level stuff, and I feel like that's what makes a difference when you go deeper. It's not the surface level, like, oh, I've been affirming this. I've been affirming I want to be in a committed relationship with this person, and it's not working. And so maybe either this doesn't work or something's wrong with me, but I don't think anything's wrong with me because other guys are trying to get at me, right? But what is the story you have with yourself in relation to this person? And what is the story you have of this person in general? Like with my SP, my story about my SP, amazing person. Amazing committed relationship person? No. Amazing committed to me? No. You get me? But you don't realize that when you first start manifesting, because I feel like the way things are presented is like, you just change your thoughts and that's it. There are underlying causes and reasons why you may not still have your manifestation, and that's okay. Videos help, coaching helps, courses help, the free content helps, and that's why I'm even sharing any of this, because I want you to reflect on yourself. Reflect, see what it is. Like with this client, what we did is we did a lot of diving deep. Like, all right, what is it that you see in this person? Like, what are the fears? What are your fears? What are their fears of commitment? Why do you think, like, and the more you talk, the more you reflect, the more comes out, the more stuff comes up to the surface, and you're like, oh, well, this has also been playing in my head. These stories that go against what I want have also been playing in my head. Okay? So if you take anything from this video, is be real with yourself. Sit down, ask yourself questions. Like, don't take that for granted. Like, I feel like a lot of people are like, yeah, like, I know, like, I gotta be real with myself. I know I need to really, like, look deep within and see what's going on internally. But let me do this technique real quick. But actually, let me do this technique and then we'll worry about that. No. Mm-mm. Don't be afraid of diving deep and really knowing thyself. That is a very, very ancient 2 words. Three words. Know thyself. Hashtag know thyself. Like, why is it mentioned in so many texts? Know thyself. Because self is the root. You are the root of all these branches that are happening in your reality. You are the root of your money situation. You are the root of your relationship situation. You are the root of your family situation. You are the root of all of the above. Your relationships you have at work, the relationship you have with your boss, the relationship you have with your friends, the relationship you have with yourself, all you. And if you don't know thyself and you're too worried about that self and that self and that other self and that person's self and that person, what will happen is you will find yourself in the same cycle over and over again, either with the same person, same situation, or different person, same situation. And a lot of people come to me with that. I used to even find myself in that situation too. That's why I know I can catch so well when I talk to a client, I can catch so well what is going on. And a lot of the times you don't want to admit it. A lot of the times you really, really, really want to blame the other person, and all feelings are valid. Everything is valid. What you feel, what you've gone through is 100% valid, but also how you react matters and is in your control. How you react to situations and people is in your control, and it determines if you will have the same outcome over and over again, or if the outcome will finally change to what you want it to change to. Okay? So what I also want to mention is, when you find yourself in a situation, and this client that I shared the success story, a lot of you will be asking, okay, so what did she do? Right? Okay, so listen carefully. So whatever I said to her, I'm saying to you. Whatever I said to her in session, I'm saying to you. So a lot of the times you will find yourself in a situation where your old fears, doubts, worries, and triggers come up. Even if you're feeling good, you can have a great week, an amazing week, whatever it is. You can even see a lot of evidence happening in your reality that is working in your favor. And then boom, these triggers and scary thoughts come up and try to bring you down, right? Why is that? So this is what I told my client, because she would always say this, and that was the one thing that would, like, kind of almost throw her off track when she was really doing good. But it's important to catch this and keep persisting in what it is that you want. So what do you need to catch? Your brain will convince you of your old story. Like, your brain will literally convince you that your old story is much more correct and much more relevant than your new story that you're trying to create. Why is that? So for example, let me give you an example. So let's say you're manifesting this better version of your specific person, but you have not really seen that best version yet. You're just going off of, like, imagination, or wouldn't it be wonderful type of thoughts, right? What may happen, and if this has happened to you before, comment down below. What may happen is your story of not being chosen, or this person's never been like that, so they're not ever going to be like that. These types of thoughts will come up. these types of thoughts will come up and really, really try to convince you like, nope, your new story is just imagination, it's just delusion. Your old story is so much more believable, and you do have evidence of your old story, so let's give the old story another whirl. And what happens a lot is most people are convinced. Most of you are convinced in your old story because in that moment you're not observing the thought, you're absorbing it. I'm going to say it again. You are most of the time convinced of your old story, and you go back to your old story of being not chosen and not prioritized and not wanted, because that voice in your head convinces you that, hey, you have so much more info to back up your old story. And in that moment, you sit and you absorb these thoughts. You absorb what's being said to you internally. But what's really happening is that's an opportunity. So this is deep. Most of you, if you get what I'm saying, comment down below. This is a little bit of a deeper topic. If you would like me to talk about it more in another video, I will. But that is straight up alchemy. That is your opportunity to transmute that energy to double down on your new story. What is alchemy? Alchemy is changing one element to another. That is not the Webster's dictionary definition. I am probably 100% off on that, but it's literally transforming something into another thing. And in this case, transforming one energy that is from lack into another energy that can create abundance and desire to manifest in your reality. Straight up alchemy. And that's what I want you to do. I literally want you to take that opportunity to observe what is going on internally and use that moment to be an alchemist. Change the freaking story and stick to it. Do not let that fear voice inside of you run the show. It cannot run the show. At that moment, it's literally like tugging at you to say, give me my time to shine. Let me shine again. Give me my 15 minutes of fame again. And when every time you give in and you cave in and you do, you create another opportunity to come back to feeling this lack over and over and over again. That's not what you want to do. Okay? If this makes sense, you guys comment down below. I'm sure it resonates because this is all coming from the heart. Like, I'm literally getting like downloads to share this with you guys. I also want you to do one more thing. This is another thing I told my client to do. Before I tell you, I want you to realize something. Your journey is not going to feel like rainbows and butterflies the whole time. I intend it does. But even the master manifestors and the gurus out there will tell you this. Sometimes you need to hit rock bottom to really understand what you're capable of and really wake up and put in the effort and apply your knowledge. Because what a lot of us do is we're just taking the knowledge over and over and over and over again. And I mentioned this in one of my older videos. I forget the title, but it's time to apply all the knowledge you've been taking in, because it all comes down to one understanding. Your thoughts and assumptions create, and your focus creates, and the way you see yourself, your self-concept in relation to you, in relation to whatever it is that you're manifesting, that also is also creating constantly. So you're not always going to feel good on your journey. I intend you do, but everyone has days. Everyone has days where they're triggered. Everyone has days where they're like not feeling like they're on top of the world and they're god of their reality. That is so normal. You are experiencing a human experience. So, we work our way around it. And don't think that if you're doing the work and applying it, even on a bad day, that it's not going to play out. It always plays out. I've mentioned this in a lot of my videos, but most of my manifestations happened when I was really completely in the unknown. Like, I didn't really believe fully that I'm going to get it. And then I got it. And then you put two and two together. Then you see, oh, that was a bridge of incidents. That was a freaking bridge of incidents to get me what I want. Did I feel good in the moment? No, but I still got my manifestation. Are there manifestations that I got when I felt amazing? Yes. But it doesn't matter what you feel. You're still going to get it. It matters how stable, how you maintain this energy going forward of you being God of your reality. Or are you wobbly? Are you wobbly? Are you constantly on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off? Or is every little trigger smacking you off track? Because, you know, that's only going to produce hot and cold behavior going forward. But the other thing I wanted to mention is ask yourself, before I got my manifestation, any manifestation, this is not even about SP. I want you to pay attention. Like, any manifestation that you've received before you got it, where were you mentally? Where were you mentally? Because I remember even asking this client and other clients of mine, and they were like, Ani, I don't know how I got here. I don't know what thoughts created this, or like, I didn't feel not worthy or not chosen or whatever, right? I remember one of my clients that removed the third party, she was asking me that. So she finally had removed the third party, and she asked me, like, but she was like, when I was, before the third party came in, she's like, I thought I was fully secure though. Like, I thought I was 100% confident and all this. And I was like, okay, well, was this person in the picture? She's like, yeah, they were. And they were constantly like in my SP's ear and stuff. And I was like, oh, did you see them as competition? She was like, yeah. I'm like, there you go. You seeing someone as competition, you seeing someone as taking something away from you, or being able to take something away from you, or someone having more power over you. Those little seeds, if you keep beating the drum of it and you keep watering those little seeds and they become into healthy grown plants, they become manifestations in your reality. So keep that in mind. But the opposite is also true. The opposite is also true. That's why it doesn't even matter what you manifest. Whatever you've manifested right now, whether it's third parties, whether it's no communication, whatever it is that you're in now, none of it freaking matters. I swear to you, because the same way you manifested it, you can manifest it out. That is how neutral this universe is. The universe is like, what do you want? Tell me. Tell me, tell me, tell me. And if you keep watering that thought, if you keep giving that thought life, I will eventually give it to you. So what are you watering, you guys? What are you watering? So the whole point to what I just said was, look back, okay? Things you manifested, good or bad. Where are you at mentally? You can most likely 99.9% of the time trace back to a thought and a belief. And that thought and belief was like just fed and watered so much that it manifested, good or bad. So again, remember, the same way you brought it in, the same way you can get it out. That is good. Okay? And then the same way you sent it out, the same way you can bring it back in. So I'm so happy for this client. We will be working on this until you got a ring on your finger, girl. Until you get what you want. I know that is one of her desires, and I intend to be reading that success story soon, just like how I will be intending to read all of your success stories, or hearing your success stories, or reading your success stories under the comments. I hope this video helped. If it did, please comment down below. And I will see you in the next video. You guys, if you are interested in any of my courses, I post a lot of feedback from my courses and from my sessions, like a lot of emails clients send in. I post them in the community tab in our social media pages, so you can see they are 100% real client emails. If the person wants to stay anonymous, they are. So privacy is always number one. But I love you guys. I intend your new year is going amazing. And even if you cannot see anything yet, do not doubt it. It's still working. See, that client of mine that I shared the success story in today's video, that whole time she was in no contact, she thought nothing was, she literally thought like he's moving on. But something she didn't mention here, which she mentioned in our one-on-one session, is when they were together that day, he literally told her, I have not thought or talked to any other woman. You've been on my mind this whole time. So don't doubt, don't doubt, don't doubt, don't doubt. You guys, I got you. These videos got you this information. If you have a desire, you have it for a reason. Now it's time for you to start believing it and applying the knowledge. I love you. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.